Our show anytime you're ready. Kincaid and Dallas on demand.
Kincaid, Dallas, Jarrod Oxendine from Oxendine Law. Good morning, Jarrod. How are you, my friend?
Good morning. You know, instead of you're gonna miss me, we need a little Toby Keith. How you like me now?
I keep thinking about all the marriages that I call them like last straw breakups, where finally it was that one last straw that broke the marriage. And maybe the upcoming holiday it was, you idiot, I told you not to light fireworks near the house and you burned down half the house. Or, you idiot, I told you not to grill so close to the house and yet a fire. Something where somebody didn't listen to somebody else and that was the last straw. How often does a client tell you, yeah, it was finally this that put me over the edge and this was the last straw?
Yeah, it happens, and usually it's just something that's happening over and over again, and then it's just the last straw that broke the camel's back because the person keeps doing it. I'll tell you, I've got tons of stories on this, but the one that pops in my mind is I had a client, it was the wife, and her husband was just a serial adulterer. He just could not keep his hands off other women, and she called him numerous times. So she finally said, you know what, I'm tired of this, I've had enough. I want to keep as many of the asses as I can, Jarrod. What can I do? And I said, you know what? If your husband's dumb enough to sign it, we're going to draft up a postnuptial agreement, not a prenup. A postnup is an agreement you sign after you get married, and it's going to say that if he cheats on you again, then you get all the assets. Guess what? We drafted it up. The guy lasted 6 months before he screwed up again.
Wow.
And she
That's
got
awesome.
it all. She got it all.
Whoa.
Love it.
And he signed.
How
Beautiful thing.
smart is that?
Wow.
Okay, you want to change? I'm gonna hold you to this.
Yeah.
Dallas, we were talking about Publishers Clearinghouse this morning, and Dallas had a memory of Gloria, her mom, sending a check to Publishers Clearinghouse.
Yes, and mother would always hide that from dad. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't much, but I mean, back in the day, $10 was a lot to them. I don't know how much the check was for, but I remember she would put it in that envelope and lick it up and put the stamp on it and sneak out to the mailbox and get it in the mail before Joe came home.
And financial infidelity is real, and for a lot of people, it hurts almost as much as cheating.
Yeah, it does. I forgot totally about Publishers Clearinghouse. Man, that's a blast.
I know, right?
Well, they've just been
happens a lot
sued.
when people are, spending. Some people hide their spending habits, right? And you've got somebody racking up debt. Maybe they've got a gambling addiction. Maybe they've just they're a shopaholic and they can't stop. And so they're hiding that from their spouse because their spouse either would be upset about it or maybe they're a micromanager of the other person when it comes to their spending. And then all of a sudden you find out that your spouse has racked up tens of thousands of dollars of credit card debt. I've had those cases where people have basically had to liquidate 401k to try to settle up on their spouse's credit card debt because they didn't know about it. And certainly financial mismanagement and lack of communication on finances certainly leads to divorce.
We're talking to Jarrod Oxendine from Oxendine Law. Now, of course, I got to ask you the random question, and I'm sure this has happened, but maybe not one of your clients. Okay, as we approach what is going to feel like 95 degrees today, did we have a couple where one of them stepped in your office and said, Jarrod, he will not let me turn the air on. He does not want to spend the money. I'm sweaty. I'm disgusted. This marriage is over. I can't live like this.
Well, I know that happens, every day in America. Wife's cold and husband's hot and vice versa. I haven't had anybody, at least as far as I know, file for divorce just for that reason. Could be the case.
Could be today!
But what I did have is I had a family where the mother-in-law moved in, and the husband was just a jerk. He didn't want the mother-in-law being there, and he was trying to basically force her out. And so he would screw with the mother-in-law by, disconnecting the thermostat.
Oh, my
bumping the
gosh.
temperature way up.
Oh,
Yes, disconnected her water, in her bathroom. This guy was the biggest
Okay.
jerk ever.
All right.
And guess the mother-in-law finally moved out, but guess what? He lost his wife, too, in the process.
Yeah, they had
man.
major problems even before that because if
Yeah.
they didn't talk about the fact that the mother-in-law was going to move in and reach some kind of agreement, oh my gosh.
It was horrible. And the mother-in-law was the sweetest lady ever, and she was like the nanny for their kids.
Oh, that's messed up.
And he wasn't even paying her, and he would get upset when she would eat their food. I mean, this guy was just
wow.
number one, beep. He was a jerk.
I hate it.
Hey, I was thinking of something else. If you need to make a little extra cash, Jarrod, that you could get yourself ordained, and that way you could get them coming and going.
Yeah. That's like me advertising I'm a divorce attorney every time I have new friends. friends, right?
I love it.
He's just trying to strum up business. Do not be friends with that guy.
Well, if we're sweaty, we want to use the AC, and we're over our marriage, how do we have a nice little talk with you?
Yeah, give us a call, 770-497-8688. You can also go online, oxlawfirm.com. There's a little contact form you can submit. That'll come to us by email. But the first consultation's free. Would love to help you, get you pointed in the right direction.
Yep, and you know what?
Love
It could be your own Independence Day. Enjoy your holiday, Jarrod. Always a pleasure.
Take care. Thank you.
Hey, buddy. There goes Jarrod Oxendine. Love that guy.
It's our morning show any time of the day when you want to hear it. Kincaid and Dallas on demand.